day that I wasn't expecting. I had more energy than I normally do. And I'm like hot grease on a skillet anyway. I got a lot of energy. I didn't need no more energy. And but I had more energy. I went to bed that night and I slept better than I had in like 3 decades. And I slept good anyway. So that next morning I woke up and I decided that I needed to share this with people. You know, I wasn't really thinking about a business, but I decided I need to share this with people. So I went ahead. Remember, I didn't know any network marketers, but I knew a lot of people. And I just started texting people and reaching out to them, you know, or maybe calling them or even going by their house. And I just kept it real simple. I said, hey, have you heard about X39? It's changed my life. Watch this short video and get back to me. Well, lo and behold, my phone and my social media started blowing up. And I ended up selling 11 diamonds my first month and about 15 or 20 golds and silvers. Well, a good thing for me, and I still didn't understand what a binary and the leg stuff was, but that month that I had signed up, or right shortly, because June 28th, well, in July of that year, they had that bonus where if you sold a diamond, you were a diamond, you got an extra like $300. So I was getting $800 a pop. The first girl I signed up, a girl in Montana named Sherry, she ended up signing 10 diamonds up that month. So that's how I resignated to $10,500. Not that I'm making income claims, but that's what happened. You know, people will do more or less, whatever, but that's just part of my story. And so I just started sharing with people, and I realized really quick in the beginning, you guys, that I wanted to just focus on X39. You know, I realized by then they had other patches, but you know, my personality, I got to know everything about everything, and so I study a lot. You know, at first I decided to try to figure out what this network marketing business was, and see what was going on because I didn't really know what network marketing was, and I started studying things like Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt, and you know, and realized A.L. Williams and Amway, and you know, and all that stuff, and realized that okay, this is a pretty cool business and stuff. So I decided that I didn't want to have a bunch of products and open up my trench coat and have a watch and a bunch of patches. All the other patches are phenomenal. They're great. You know, and I do use some of them, but I've never marketed any other patches. I've never put another patch on anybody. I don't train on that. If people are interested down the road, then I'll tell them, I'll educate them after they've got their X39 experience. But so I went ahead, just, led with that, and that's what I still do today. You know, I keep it super simple. You guys are going to laugh, but, I still don't have a computer. I still haven't installed that InTouch app, which is phenomenal. I probably should, but I got my phone, and I always tell people we only need three things in this business. I figured out, and to make it successful, and we keep it simple. One is we need a phenomenal technology, which we have with X39. We got 20-year patent on it. We got a product that nobody has, and they probably won't for a long time. Then we have that short 3-minute video that I send out. And the third thing, which is the most important thing, I think, so remember, you need three things to be successful in this business. You need the X39 stem cell patch. You can give a sample out and share it. You need that famous 3-minute video. And you need your mouth. Because if you don't open your mouth, how are you going to be able to share this? So a lot of people, I think, are intimidated to talk about this because they think they need to know a whole lot of stuff. Now, because of my personality, I could probably teach science classes on X39 because I know a lot of stuff about it. But, and I did over-information people a little bit in the beginning, but I learned real quickly, over-information people, you'll lose them. You keep it simple, and then I just want to get them on board. Usually you have a husband and wife you're dealing with, and so it's not practical, I don't think, myself, everybody's different, to have somebody come on board, husband and wife, and, purchase X39 and get some Aeons, glutathione. Well, if you times that by 6, with husband and wife, they could be spending $400 or $500, and it will never work. You'll lose them. So it's not affordable. It's not duplicatable. So I just keep it really simple. And I basically tell people, you guys, is that, someone, let's say if I met you or something and I want you to watch the video, nobody gets a patch unless they watch the video, right? So they watch the video, social media, whatever, phone, whatever, I meet them, whatever, and then I will give them a sample of X39. I only give them one. I don't give them 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, in the very beginning, I tried doing 5 to 6 people for 2 weeks. Well, that cost me $100 for each week, right? Because do the math, 30. So, but nobody was interested. They came back, but we tried it for 5 days, didn't work. We're not interested. Well, I couldn't afford that because that was the summer of 2019, and I was broke. Remember? So, talking to my sponsor, we decided that we would simplify it more. We remembered that the clinical trials said that 70% of the people feel something the first day and 30% don't. So, and I started doing that. We started doing that, and it started working. I was able to reach 30 people with one sleeve instead of 6 people. And so my odds of reaching more people and being more successful business-wise was a lot more greater, right? So anyway, so after about, I think a few months and stuff, I woke up in bed like someone had shot me. I sat straight up in bed, 2:30 in the morning. I have 5 German Shepherds. They all raised their heads and looked at me like, "What's going on?" And so I went ahead, had this thought in my head. When you give them a patch, a sample, tell them they might not feel anything. Well, that they didn't make any sense to me. I thought that came from the devil or something, right? Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, I woke up that next morning, you guys, and I still had the same thought in my head, and I started thinking about it. So I started trying it. My phone started blowing up using that technique, and because the 70% of the guys would call me after I told them, in the beginning, and they'd say, "You know what? You were right. We felt something, and you said we could get on a, try it, see what's up and stuff." So, but the 30% of the guys always seemed like they were irritated, upset, and mad. Not so much at me, but they were mad because they weren't part of the 70% of the people that felt something. So once I started perfecting that, telling them, "Here's your sample, whether I mailed it or whatever. You might not feel anything, but the real thing I want you to do is call me the next day after you use it, and I will show you how you get on a minimum of a 90-day supply with 100% 30-day money-back guaranteed." Well, my phone was blown up. The guys that were always mad were saying, "Hey, dude, we didn't feel anything. You were right, but you promised us you'd help us get on that 90-day supply so we could try it with that guarantee." And so out of the 200 people that I have signed up, I've never had anybody return anything. So the odds are pretty good. If I get them for a month, I got them. So that's a little technique I use. I keep it really simple. I ended up, and I'm not bragging at all. I even hate saying this, but I ended up hitting senior presidential director in 16 weeks and 2 days. At the time, that was the fastest that anybody done it. I still hadn't realized what I had done. I got to convention in Las Vegas. Some of you guys, I think, were there. I know Peter was. I think Marcy was there. I don't know if Jan was there. But,
Yeah, Jan and I
Sheila were both there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember that. And,
Yep.
So we got flowers for being SPDs. Remember, we all got on stage, and I was number 35, and I'm thinking number 35 out of 15 years. I just couldn't figure that out. I'm just a country bumpkin chimney sweep. Why am I here? And then it was kind of funny. I had gone to the back of the room. I never had anybody give me flowers. So I was kind of embarrassed to have a dozen flowers. I remember Camilla had handed me the flowers, and there was like 12 roses. Remember, you guys? And so I went back into the back of the room, and I had been talking to a real pretty gal back there. And remember Paula Shaw? You guys remember Paula? You know Paula, right? And okay, so I'm sitting down with her, and and I gave her the flowers and stuff, and she was like, "Wow." I said, "Yeah, I want you to have the flowers." I thought she was really cute, nice, and stuff, right? So then this guy's tapping me on the back of the shoulder. It's like, and I kept ignoring it, and I finally turned around and said, "You know what? Hey, dude, I'm talking to this like really pretty girl, and I don't even know who you are. Can I talk to you in a minute?" And he said, "Well, I think they're calling you." I said, "What do you mean they're calling me? I was just up there because I wasn't paying attention." And he said, "Well, look over at the monitor on the stage." I looked over. There was one name up there. It was my name. Every head in the place was looking at me. It's like, what is going on? And they wanted me to come up for an achievement award. But as I'm walking up there, I'm thinking, because I'm really shy and didn't want to be on the stage in the first place. And so I'm walking up there. And I'm thinking, we didn't talk about this. Nobody told me about this. But so I went up there. I got my award, and then I reached out and I shook David's hand. When I did that, I probably shouldn't have shook his hand because he put a microphone in my hand. And I knew enough not being on stage. But I knew if someone puts a microphone in your hand, you got to talk. So that was my first nervous experience, I guess, being on stage. But it was all worth it. Got us to be where we're at today. And I'm nobody special. I mean, I tell you guys, if I can do this, just being a country bumpkin hippie chimney sweep from Modesto, California, anybody can do this. You don't need a computer. You don't need a bunch of fancy stuff. You don't need to go to school for a month or 6 weeks or whatever. You got your kit. You got everything you need. You got, the sponsor hopefully you watch that 3-minute video. You got the technology, X39, and you got your mouth. Nobody's going to come to your house in the middle of the night and knock on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you open the door and say, "Hey, I'm Jan. Do you have any X39?" No, they don't do that unless they know you have it, right? They better not come at 2 in the morning. But so we all have a part in this, and I believe that this is just starting. We haven't seen nothing yet, with all the exposure we're getting now. We're all running into more people, I think. I know I am. That when you mentioned it, yeah, I kind of heard about that a little bit. Before, it wasn't like that. And I still think that there's only probably 1/10 of 1% of the population of 800 billion people that even know about X39. So sometimes people say, well, I missed the boat. We should have went in when you got in. No, it's actually better because when we all came in, Jan and Marcy and Peter, all of us and stuff, a lot of times the network marketing companies like Lifeway, they don't have tools. It's the distributors, the brand partners that come in. And correct me if I'm wrong, we're the ones that invent stuff and do the trainings and stuff, So it took us all that time doing that, And you guys are all like me. We all dug holes in the beginning, buried ourselves, and I pulled myself out, and realized, well, that doesn't work, So sometimes people will get on, a couple of Zoom calls a day, maybe a webinar or two, and get in the back office to read a bunch of stuff. Now they think they've worked their business for 4 hours. They haven't worked it at all. They just did some training. Every day, you need to go out like we teach you guys, like, Evolve team does, and, Marcy and everybody. We teach you guys to go out like we do. And I wouldn't have got 200 personally sponsored people if I hadn't reached out, And it takes 5 minutes to talk to somebody. I'm at Sprouts a lot and stuff, and so I was in line the other day, and this guy said hi. I'm real talkative, and I'm talking to him, and he wanted to know what I did. And I told him real briefly. He was kind of interested, and 2 minutes had passed. I said, "Give me your cell phone real quick, and I'm going to just text you a short video." Now I did that, and so I did a couple of things there. I got him a video. It took me just a couple of minutes in line before we went to pay, and and I got his phone number, right? He got the video. So it's really easy to talk to two people. I mean, and in this company, I've never seen any products that is so where people are so open. If I went to Save Mart shopping center, a grocery store, and talked to 10 strangers in a parking lot and just said those, three things that I just told you, have you heard about X39? It's changed my life. I want you to watch a short video. Out of those, because they say in network marketing, so I studied that, 10 no's, 1 yes. Well, I found out in Lifeway, it's like a lot more. I mean, if I talk to 10 people, I guarantee I pretty much got 5 of them that end up wearing patches and stuff, getting a sample. So it's a really easy business. It's affordable for one thing. And all we got to do is stay active. And that's like nothing because we want to have the product anyway. So it's a blessing that we get to do that. A lot of companies I found out, they make you pay, $200 or $300 a year to have, your website and all that stuff. Well, that website and that back office that we have, if each one of us had to have that designed, boy, it would cost a lot of money. So we're blessed there. We got a phenomenal customer service. We're a little overwhelmed right now because we're having phenomenal growth. The company went from $18 million a year in 2018 to probably about, we're hitting about 34, 35 million a month now. That's a lot of growth in, 4 years. I believe we'll be $1 billion company probably within 2 years, maybe less, maybe a little more, but we're on our way to do it. And we all need to work together. And I'm so glad that, the teams that, are pulling together now, and we realize that we're one team. We're not segregated. We're not separate teams. We're not Marcy's team. We're not Peter's team. We're not Ron's team. We're not, Michael Acuso's team. We're all one team. We're all in this together. And, we can go to events like, Costa Mesa, which I'm going to go. I'm happy. I loved it last year. And we're going to have people from different teams there. But you know what? We're all going to work together, and it's so fun because we're changing lives. We're changing the world. And, and I believe that in these perilous times that we're going through, really bad, during the COVID time, my business excelled. Actually, both businesses, chimney business, because everybody stayed home looking out the window scared. And then, so they were lighting their fireplaces. Well, what had happened too, because, when COVID first started, people were interested in their health and stuff. I never said I got rid of COVID and stuff, but I was starting to do a little bit better. But what happened, it kind of flipped after a couple of months, you guys. People were losing their jobs, remember? I mean, I had a lot of friends that lost their jobs, business was closed. Well, they were able to start promoting X39 from their house in their pajamas. Put a card or a postcard and send samples out, and work the phone and social media. So this is totally. I mean, I've never seen a home-based business that is literally home-based. You don't have to see the mailman. I got a mail slot at my door. So it's easy, and I believe that Lifeway is going to be here for a long time. We're getting ready to hit our 20th year real soon. We're having